What are they doing?
Streaming every episode of Power Rangers start to finish.
Really? I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
It's been going on for at least a week now. They're in the final stretch now. I think yesterday, like last night, they had 30 episodes left. They had played like 1,000 episodes.
That's awesome. Also, my thing's still saying episode 57. Did you change that? And I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, I just muted that. No, as in I muted it, then loaded an ad, and the ad started playing full blast.
Yay! Okay, I'm sorry. I used to really like Fast and the Furious. Like, I liked the first one, and the second one wasn't too bad. The Fate of the Furious is the stupidest fucking thing I think I've ever seen. Sorry, excuse my language.
I got a Ghost in the Shell ad, so... The naming convention of their movies is...
And now get another ad. This ad has a chick playing games on it, so that's okay.
There was The Fast and the Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious, The Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift, which was a really good one. I like that one the most. Fast and Furious, which is number 4. Then there was Fast 5. Then there was Fast and Furious 6. Then it was Furious 7. And then the next one is The Fate of the Furious. Like...
Yeah,
stick to a naming convention, please.
No. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also, I have a new mic arm.
Nice.
Instead of having 2 sections to it, it has 3.
Wow.
Yeah, so I can sit a little further back from my desk when I'm podcasting.
Oh, that's good. I want, like, I don't know, a separate room just for this.
Okay. Let's check that this is all working. Can I get some words, please?
Here are some words. I know all the words. I have the best words.
Butts.
Butts is a good word.
Okay. Cool, no issues there. That's a new pre-spell in 7.2. Holy word, butts.
I really hope not.
Okay. Are you ready for the intro?
Yep.
Serious ready for a teapot?
I'm still here. Yes.
Also,
have a good show.
Also, before you do go, Cinder, you really should talk to Sirius about tea if you're looking for interesting flavors.
Oh, no, I don't like interesting flavors of tea.
Oh,
I am a English breakfast.
Tea.
Yeah, no, I like it.
Oh,
English
go for
breakfast,
Melbourne breakfast.
No, it makes me sick. I have a big container of it in my cupboard, and it makes me really sick. It was because the milk wasn't great. That's why it made me sick.
Oh, because that was the one you got last time, wasn't it?
Sorry?
No, I got Blue Mountain last time.
Melbourne breakfast is lovely.
Yeah, we went a few weeks back, and obviously she goes a little crazy when we go there.
Yeah, I like all of the
fucking
things.
Love tea, man. Okay.
What was the cold ones that we tried? The iced ones?
Strawberries and cream. And apple cinnamon.
That from
Yeah.
We've had the we got Turkish apple tea, and we got apple sugar to put in it, and that was really nice in wintertime. Like, that was really, really good.
And you were sitting there sipping that, typing away on your Mac?
Yeah.
Yeah. an Apple Mac. Oh my god, that took me too long.
I was just making an.
It took me. No, I'm ashamed of myself. Just like.
Go home, Spaz.
Yeah.
I am home.
No.
Although we should totally buy that home on the main road, even though you don't like main roads. Regardless. Nope. Okay.
Anyway, have a good show.
Do your tip.
See you soon.
Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to Reins of Azeroth, a podcast about collecting everything in World of Warcraft. This is episode 58. I'm your host, Cinder. I'm joined, as always, by my lovely co-host, Spaz Wesson. How are you, Spaz?
I like the new intro.
I practiced it really hard.
Fair enough.
Do this wrong.
Yes. We've made a few changes.
Yeah.
Those eagle-eyed people out there will have noticed.
Yeah, we stopped talking about just mounts quite some time ago, so we just thought we'd make it pretty clear everywhere that, you know, the podcast really is about collecting everything, whether that is mounts or pets and toys and achievements and transmog and all of the things. So,
yes.
Just kind of getting that out there a little bit more.
We're not talking about mounts, we're just talking more about everything else. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
What?
Have you heard?
What?
Do you know what happens tomorrow?
I get to play the new Dark Souls DLC?
Oh, no! What is this show about? Tomorrow.
I don't remember. Can you repeat the intro?
I'm interrupting you because you're not doing it right. Tomorrow's 7.2
I don't remember. Can you repeat
the
intro?
Excited.
Yeah, I know. 7.2 is so good. Obviously, they had to release it at the same day as some other big thing coming out, like the final Dark Souls 3 DLC. So,
oh wow,
we'll see how they do.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's only one choice for me.
What was it that they brought out on the same day as WildStar releasing?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Because I remember, like, every time one of the big WoW killers had, like, a big update or, like, launched, WoW was just like, we have new content too.
Yeah, look, timing-wise, the only thing... I'm very bad at remembering things, but the only things I can think of around that time was either the Selfie patch or Hellfire Citadel. Because it was a couple of years ago now, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That game
anyway.
Got medium size, went free to play, and then died.
Yeah. I liked it, though. I did like that game.
It was definitely fun. Like, there were only a couple of negatives to it. That being, I already play WoW, so I don't want to start again. Which is the same for almost every.
No, for me it was the epic lag. I couldn't handle it. You couldn't do combat properly with the lag, so
yeah.
And, it really ruined it for me, unfortunately.
That's
anyway, talking about World of Warcraft, and as we said, 7.2 comes out tomorrow, and there's so much content in 7.2. I'm sure that it has got to be one of their biggest patches that they've done for quite some time. So because of the sheer volume of stuff, we're going to talk about everything over multiple episodes. So, you know, be prepared. But before we start...
Have I heard that phrase somewhere before?
Be prepared.
Something similar.
Probably from the Lion King. Be prepared. How's your week
thinking like a dude with green tattoos or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Regardless. My week has been just a bit different. I was having some issues with my PC earlier.
Yeah, what happened? Is it fixed?
All fixed.
Did you break it?
No. Apparently, because people are going into ultra power saving mode in my house, they want to turn every single power point off in the house during the day, except the Foxtel and the TVs and half the lights in the house. But hey, they want me to turn my entire computer setup off during the day. And whenever I go to bed in the evening. The issue is that the power board that I have has a surge protector in it and is quite old. So it takes a few minutes to start up. And so I flicked the power, hit the button on my computer started up, instantly, like, off, started up, off again, did that 4 times, properly loaded up, and it's like, it's midnight. Year 2000. And I'm like, oh my fucking god.
Who knew your power board could be like a time traveling machine? That's amazing.
Yeah, I know, and I wanted to slap someone. I'm like, this is why I'm never turning that PowerPoint off again.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Not at all. So I got it fixed. Fine. But through the week, I made a few alts.
Nice.
I now have one of every class.
Awesome.
I had to make a shaman, a warrior, and a warlock.
And obviously shamans are the best.
Yes, my shaman has a shield and the Brawler's Guild Claw.
Nice. Very good.
Because no one else is going to be able to use that thing when leveling anyway. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I've mainly been playing my priest to get her to 110. Leveling surprisingly quickly. In one night, I went up a level and a half.
Nice.
Just kind of going through stories and stuff. Avoiding all the treasures that I can, so that once she hits 110, she can use the artifact research paper and go straight to artifact level 20, research level 20.
Yep.
Because I had 10,000 order resources. I'm like, I had 12,000. I'm like, either build up to 15,000 to start the second legendary research, even though I don't have a second legendary, so whatever. Or buy one for every alt that I have, because I'm going to want to level them all soon. And so I did that instead. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I was happy.
But you got a couple of achievements?
Yeah, I obviously finished Azuna and Stormheim with her. Mainly because I just, I loaded in to Dalaran, ran over, grabbed the enchanting quest, grabbed the tailoring quest, and I'm like, okay, which zone is this for? And then just went and did that whole zone.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then when I finished that zone, I was like, okay, what's next? More over there. And as soon as it was like, hey, go to this zone, I'm like, okay, I'll finish this zone, then go over there. And she's at 108 at the moment.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah, I just have to slog it out for one more zone.
You can do it.
My options are Val'Sharah or High Mountain, so...
So they're both good choices.
No, they're not.
Oh.
I enjoy High Mountain. I hate how vertical it is. That's my only issue.
Alright, maybe just wait a couple of weeks when you got your flying and then you'll be fine.
Yeah, once I get flying, it'll be easier. I think I'll just get everyone to the point where the only options are Val'Sharah or High Mountain. Because I don't want to deal with Malfurion again for a whole zone.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you.
He's a bit whingy.
Yeah, I did tell you last week that I bugged it out, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, he's I don't know, I find him a very infuriating character, and I don't suppose, the voiceovers, especially through Emerald Nightmare, he's just such a whinging little sook, and I just want to tell him to tough it up. I don't know, there's something about him that is really, really annoying me at the moment. And I just kind of want to go, you know what, dude? You can just, save yourself for once, okay?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm a bit harsh.
And the last thing I did was 3 of the alts that I have on the Horde side are now in the Blood of the Scribe Guild. So,
ooh.
Yes, that it's going to be fun.
Yes,
when I get around to them. Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah, I made I have a Tauren Druid, a Tauren Shaman, and an Undead Warlock, finally.
Cool. Nice.
Originally I wanted to play an Undead Warlock, but...
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm finally getting around to making one.
Yay!
They're fully heirloomed out, ready to go. So at least they look good while they sit around doing nothing.
Cool.
What about yourself? You been up to much?
Oh, plenty. I don't have any new mounts because I may have bought more PvP transmog again. But I look pretty, so, I've got that going for me. I finished, finally, on the weekend, I went through and finished the last of What a Strange Interdimensional Trip It's Been for the permanent Pepe toy for my head. Because I was able to solo everything, so I didn't have to rely on other people, which was really good. So I have a Pepe for my head, which I'm quite happy about. I also got Wake the Dragon achievement, which is a PvP one up in the, where you kill the animals and then you ride around on them and then you kill like anyone and everyone. Up there is a dragon that sometimes spawns, and so I got to ride around on him, and it was really cool because you could fly with him and attack people from above. And so I took so much delight in chasing down a mage that had killed me not too long prior and killed them pretty good, and it made me really happy. Which is why I don't PvP much, because it makes me so evil. So I got that. We got Mythic Croesus down on the weekend as well, which was really great. I'm incredibly happy about that one. So now we're working on Mythic Spellblade. And last night, some guildies convinced me to do some random BGs with them. So I got a whole bunch of other PvP achievements through that as well, which was really cool. It's I enjoy it. Like, PvP with other people that is good fun, and in small doses. Like, really did 3. And I'm like, yep, that's enough for me. I'm happy to leave it there and move on. So yeah, nice. It's been a good week.
That's awesome.
As for the news, obviously 7.2 is here. And all the shows that we're going to have for the next few weeks are going to focus on a particular feature of 7.2. So today we're going to be talking about how you unlock your flying, class mounts, and the Broken Shore stuff with the Legion Fall faction.
And a first when it comes to mount in 2 different ways. You can now use a flying carpet and not be a tailor.
Yes, that would be very cool.
And there's a semi-easy to get unicorn.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, so, all right, so I'll keep going with what we're going to do. With next week, we should be talking about UI improvements that 7.2 has brought out and transmog and wardrobe updates, because there's quite a few and a whole lot of achievements through that.
With a special guest.
With a special guest who is very special.
Yes.
In later shows, we'll have a pet battle dungeon guide. My plan, hopefully, is to be able to go through all of those fights in pretty good detail to help people out. We will do a show about the Paragon reputations once that has all been finalized and understood fully, and that's where we can get the unicorn and the flying carpet and the drake that I want so very badly.
Yes.
And we will also
another moose.
Yes, and another moose. And we'll also do a show about the solo challenges for artifact appearances. And maybe if there's enough, the 7.2 PvP changes, but I don't think that there'll be enough for us to do a whole show about that. But just be aware that there's some PvP changes. So yeah, there's quite a lot of things that are happening in 7.2, and not to mention obviously new dungeon, and in a couple of months' time there'll be the new raid as well, and just many things. So we're going to spread it out over quite a lot of episodes so that it's not, a 5-day show.
Yes.
Because, sometimes we need to pee. So,
yes.
The 7.2 Dev Q&A happened last week. Did you get to watch that or read the things?
No, I actually didn't get a chance.
Oh, I didn't get to watch it. I read all the stuff afterwards. It's quite a good one to read if you've got some questions about 7.2. So we'll put a link to the Wowhead guide, the Wowhead news post that has responses to all of those questions on there. And and it's really good. Go ahead.
I'm just trying to remember if this was the Q&A that I asked a question through the Reins account or not. And I'm assuming they didn't answer it if they did.
No. No, sorry.
Nah, it's fine.
But that's about all the news, because obviously everything is all about 7.2, and that's what we're going to be talking about. So we're going to cover flying, class mounts, and the Broken Shore stuff, because they're all really intertwined. So we will get started with the flying. There is a Broken Isles Pathfinder flying guide on Wowhead, of course, because Wowhead is amazing. So we will put the link for that for everybody in the show notes. Do you want to go through what people need for part 2 of Pathfinder?
Yes, for part 2, you will need to have completed part 1. Surprise. So get on that if you haven't. And that is obviously explore the 5 Legion questing zones to get the achievement Broken Isle Explorer. Complete all the major storylines in the Broken Isles, which is the Loremaster Legion. Obviously, Suramar is the longest of this, so you just have to get through it. Complete 100 different world quests for the achievement Variety is the Spice of Life. That is different world quests, not just 100 world quests. Because once you get to 99, it's like, oh damn, which ones have I done before?
Yeah.
Which ones haven't I? But I'm sure this one, if you've been doing world quests all over the place, it's easy, because I believe I haven't completed a single pet battling world quest, and I have this achievement. So there's more than 100, not including pet battling ones. So, yeah. Then, obviously, the rest of part 1 is just complete your class Order Hall campaign, and then earn Revered with the 6 Broken Isle factions. So each of those are an individual achievement, so it's easier to keep track of them in that regards. The second part for part 2, however, is to complete a Legion invasion in each zone, which don't actually start for another 2 weeks after 7.2. 1?
Yeah, they're saying
I heard
next
it was
week.
2.
April
Oh, okay,
4th.
I heard it was 2. But
yeah, I think there was some confusion about the dates, but they did confirm that it was going to be the week after. So
yes. So and obviously that has an achievement by itself, the Defender of the Broken Isles. Then you have Explore the Broken Shore, which I'm assuming is going to be easy if you have a priest who is a friend and can just give you levitate as you go towards the Broken Shore, and you can probably explore a whole bunch of it as you fly over it without having to go on foot. Unless you're a demon hunter, because you'll just get up and put on your little island.
I'm tempted to just get like a whole bunch of invis pots and just try and, run around. Because I've been down there. There's the stuff for the Fathom Dweller. You needed to go there in some areas, and the demons on there were just such high level. They were big elites, and they really hurt a lot.
Yeah,
and so
they were
I'm
like
kind of
103 or something.
Yeah, so I'm like, if I need to have explored all of that, maybe I'll just get some invis pots and sneak past those guys.
Well, it seems like, according to the chat room, anyone who's been down there previously, it will not count.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, no,
because the phase will change.
Yeah, of course.
Because I know I've explored all down there for Cosmoth stuff, and I explored that whole area. So
yeah, I got lost, so I saw a fair bit of it too.
It'll change. It will change, but that's okay. It won't take long. Just take a water stride around the outside and then fill in the gaps. And now, obviously, the last thing is to get Revered with the armies of the Legion Fall, which is the achievement Legion Fall Commander. Now, there was an additional requirement known as Breaching the Tomb, but that was removed. Do we have any information about why that was removed?
Because it was mean otherwise. Not mean. Breaching the Tomb is the 11-week campaign that will unlock your class mount. So it meant that you weren't going to get your flying for 11 weeks at least. And so by taking that out, it means that we can get our flying much sooner.
Yes, and then we can fly around on our old dusty mounts until we get our new one.
Oh, thanks. Look, I think it's
not often that my priest actually, hangs up the carpet and, beats the dust off it. And it gets dusty.
I hadn't heard about Breaching the Tomb not being included until I was going through this for the show notes, and I'm like, wait, that's not there anymore? That's awesome. That's really cool. So,
yes. Yeah. So, it's going to take a little while to get flying. Obviously, the biggest gates through it are getting revered with the armies of Legion Fall. Do we know... Is there a way to just grind this out, or is it just dailies, or is it just world quests?
More than likely, it will be the world quests. We'll go through that in more detail later on. There's a whole section about the Armies of Legion 4 reputation, so we can talk about that in a bit.
Okay, no worries. And then obviously you have to wait at least 1 week before you can get the demon invasions.
Yeah, which is going to be really cool.
Yes. That's definitely going to be really cool. I'm looking forward to what we can spend the shards on.
Yes, we'll go through that too. I made a list.
Yes.
Because I'm actually a bit annoyed, but yeah.
Okay. Well, the other thing I'm curious about, once the demon... Have they said whether or not the demon invasions will end at a certain date in the future, and then you can no longer get those shards?
No, and I don't think that they will for quite some time. Like, the shards are going to be around for quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, it's understandable, but who knows? I don't know, because it just, like, in my mind, because when we did the original invasions, I didn't consider that those shards would be carried over at all, so I spent all of mine.
Me too. That's the part that I'm a bit annoyed about. I have a stash of the pets that you could buy with the with the shards. Yeah, because I'm like, cool. I'll get a handful of these, hold on to them for a year, and then I'll be able to sell them and make a little bit of gold. But no.
Yeah. So obviously, Wowhead will have the Pathfinder tool to allow you to, see how you're going through both the sections of the Pathfinder.
Yeah, it's really good. It lets helpful. you know. Yeah, it's a very quick visual to see, yep, I've done these bits, or this is what I've got left to do. So, we'll put a link up for that as well.
Yes. So, class mount. Your class mount is rewarded after completing an 11-week campaign, very similar to the Mana Saber that we received. Very beautiful mount that we received from opening the Night Hold up. And so the main thing for this is you need to do a class-related quest chain. So every class has their own quest chain, which is a good thing. Because
some of them are longer than others. Like the Death Knights seem to have like a really cool long one, and the Druids have like one really short.
Go take a nap
and something like that. So yeah, it is unique. It's unique to each class.
Yes, you will have to then finish the Broken Shore campaign over the 11 weeks, and get exalted with the armies of Legion Fall, which I'm assuming will be a thing that happens as you go.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've got to get to Revered to unlock your flying anyway, so getting to Exalted after that, especially given, like, I know for myself, I would like to get flying soon, so I'll be pushing that as much as I can, so that means that I'll get to Revered within the next couple of weeks, which will leave, 8-9 weeks to get up to Exalted, which is heaps of time.
Yes. Now, you're excited for a new tint and a new effect.
Yes, but that's not what I've put here. Sorry.
This is something different.
Well. Yeah, it's connected. It is. Yeah, no, it's okay. It is connected to your artifact weapons as well. Just on the class mounts, if you are curious about the quest lines to get your class mounts and to have a look at all of them in detail, we're not going to do the spoilers of that here, but we will give you the link if you want to go check that out for yourself.
Yes.
The artifact-related stuff, there is an achievement called Power Ascended, and that is related...
I know what this is now.
Yeah, it's directly related to your artifact weapon. And if you get this achievement, there's a whole bunch of additional mounts and tints that some classes can purchase. Sorry, poor Thor just knocked something over in the kitchen. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of mounts and tints and pets and things that some classes can get when they have gotten the Power Ascended achievement. Not everybody has something. The way that you get Power Ascended is that you need to unlock all of the new traits in your empowered artifact weapon and have 1 point in the new infinite trait. So the way this works is that when you log in, when 7.2 starts, if you have gotten 30, I can't remember if it's 34 or 35, I think it's 34 traits in your artifact weapon, in that you've unlocked everything in your artifact weapon, you will get a new quest that says, hey, we can make your artifact weapon like totes good. And so that it's going to send you off onto another quest to unlock a series of additional traits. So you need to complete that quest line. You then need to unlock all of the ranks for the 4 new traits. So that's actually 7 ranks in total, because some of them have multiple ranks. In addition, when you finish that quest, you'll get those 4 new traits, and you'll get any traits that were originally 3 out of 3 will be 4. So you can boost those up to 4. You have to put a point in every single one of those ones that's now gone up to rank 4. And you need to put 1 trait into the new infinite trait. All up. If you are counting artifact power from rank 1 to this point, where you get rank 40, I can't remember what rank number it is actually. From rank 1 to the point of getting Power Ascended, you will need to have acquired 2,228,766,330 artifact power to get that achievement.
But
so baby,
our artifact knowledge is, the cap is increasing now with 7.2, so you can keep that research going and slowly bump that up, so that you can then pass those items back to your pets, alts, later on.
The jump from artifact knowledge rank 25 to 26 is pretty huge. So I know for myself, I've held off on handing in emissaries for the last 2 days, so that I'll have 3 of them available to hand in tomorrow. And I will not be handing them in until I have got rank 26 or accepted the quest or something, so that it's all better for me. Basically, it's going to be all better. But yeah, the artifact knowledge goes up to rank 40, which is going to be huge amounts of artifact power that you can earn each time. So while it sounds like a lot, needing essentially 2 billion artifact power, it's going to be okay. Don't panic.
Yeah, it's like when you hit Revered in Mists of Pandaria, and then you got the item that doubled your reputation gain for that faction through to Exalted. The Commendation, I believe it was. So there are a whole bunch of items that you'll be able to get for various classes. For Death Knights, there are 3 pets. The Blood Brood, Frost Brood, and Vile Brood Whelpling pets, obviously for their respective specs. Demon Hunters get the best one, which is a tiny set of Warglaves, which is the Demon Hunter version of Pepe. I actually found the Tangerine Traveler again.
Oh, nice.
The other day. Yeah, he was sitting in... Oh, where was he? He was in... I don't even remember which. He was in a place that I wouldn't have thought he was.
Okay.
But either way, for hunters, you get the Trust of a Fierce Wolf Hawk mount, Trust of a Dire Wolf Hawk mount, or the Tomb of Hybrid Beast, which allows Beastmasters to tame Feathermanes.
Yeah, so I mean, like the Fierce Wolfhawk is only available for survival. Dire is only available for marksmanship. So I'm guessing that you have to be in those specs to be able to use them.
Probably, I'd imagine so. Mages.
I think mages have the best toy. Actually, this is awesome.
A magical saucer toy. lets your pet fly alongside you on their own magic disc.
That's awesome.
And totally unnecessary if you have the black cat from Hallow's End. Because he has his own little broom.
Yeah, but you can ride around on your disc, and then your little pets can ride around on their disc next to you, and that's going to be awesome.
Oh yeah, that's true. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Now, Monk's one of the coolest looking pets.
Oh, I'm so jealous of
which is Ban Fu, the cub of Ban Lu, the mount. And it's awesome.
It's very cool.
Yes. Do you want to take the rest?
Paladins have 3 additional mounts that they can purchase if they get the Power Ascended achievement. Paladins have Heraldic Reins of the Valorous Charger for Holy, Harsh Reins of the Vengeful Charger for Ret, and Stoic Reins of the Vigilant Charger for Prot. They're all obviously similar mounts, different skins, and spec specific. Rogues, similarly, have the Mephitic Reins of Dark Portent for Subtlety, Bloody Reins of Dark Portent for Outlaw, and Midnight Black Reins of Dark Portent for Assassination. And Warlocks get Hellblazing Reins of the Brimstone Dreadsteed for any of the 3 specs that are available to them. And kind of unrelated, but, lucky Warlocks, there is another mount called Shadowy Reins of the Accursed Dreadsteed, which has a chance to drop from Lord Helnerath on the Broken Shore. He's a world boss or an elite or something on the Broken Shore, and that will be for Warlocks only. So there's obviously some really killer stuff in there to get, and a lot of extra mounts that you can get, which is very cool. Getting that achievement is, firstly, it's going to take a really long time and a lot of work, and it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. So it's one of those ones where it's like, you know what, if this is not for you, don't panic, because you will still get your class mount. Like, your class mount is a default. You get that for finishing the campaign at 11 weeks and, meeting all the requirements. So don't feel like you're missing out on too much if this achievement is a bit out of reach for you. Because, even I'm looking at this and I'm just like, the amount of artifact power, oh my goodness. It's quite a lot.
Over those 11 weeks, if you keep your artifact research going, it will definitely be a lot easier.
Yeah, absolutely.
So remember to keep that going as you continue on.
Yeah.
Now the armies of Legionfall reputation. Obviously, Wowhead has a guide for this.
Look, all of the 7.2 guides on Wowhead are just amazeballs. So, do check them out. They're really very well done.
Yes. Now, to unlock the Broken Shore and the armies of Legionfall faction, you need to complete Assault the Broken Shore scenario. The quest to do this scenario will be given to you by Khadgar as soon as 7.2 hits. When the scenario is completed, you will unlock the Broken Shore world quests and the Legionfall faction. Obviously, you have to be 110 to do the scenario and unlock all this stuff. Now, reputation gains include unlocking the Broken Shore quests will give you an amount of reputation. Completing the Legion Assaults give you 1500 rep. The new world quests for the Broken Shore will give you reputation. The 11-week campaign will obviously give you a fair chunk of reputation. I'm assuming that campaign will probably get you a fair way to Revered alone. And then, obviously, you have turning in the Legionfall war supplies to construct the buildings. And as we said, Revered is required for unlocking flying, and Exalted is required for unlocking your class mount. Now, Cinder, what are all the really pretty things you can buy?
There's lots of pretty things. Lots and lots of pretty things. All of these things cost nether shards, and some of them are gated behind reputation levels and others aren't. So the things that aren't gated are the technique of Glyph of Blood Grip, and the technique for Glyph of Frost Grip will cost you 200 nether shards each, and the technique Glyph of Wrathguard for Warlocks is 500 nether shards. There are two things I meant to go back and look at what these are actually for, but I haven't. There is the Arsenal Armaments of the Ebon Blade for DKs and Arsenal Armaments of the Silver Hand for Paladins. Both of those cost 1,000 nether shards apiece. I'm not 100% sure what they are for. And there is the Nether Shard Essence, which is required for crafting legendary armor. That will cost you 8,000 nether shards each. So for those who aren't aware, just a side note, you can craft some legendary items in 7.2, which is kind of cool. And lastly, there's the Dauntless tokens, which are similar to the Timeless Isle type tokens that you could get, and they'll cost you 400 nether shards apiece. So all of those things you can get without having any reputation sorted out with Legion Fall, which means that if you've got some nether shards left over from the initial invasions, there may be a couple of pieces that you want to get straight off the bat, and you can. Oh yes, Anne's made a really good point in chat as well. Just when you are going for your reputation grinding for the Legion Fall faction, Armies of Legion Fall, she said don't forget about the Wii buff from the Dark Moon Fair, which will be up next week. That's a very good point. Thank you, Anne. So go do that. That will help you a lot. Back to what you can buy. These are the things that are gated by reputation levels. So at Honoured, you're able to purchase a Cauterizing Void Shard for 5,000 nether shards. And that's an item that has like a cauterizing effect that gives you an instant heal and then damages you over time. Sounds like fun. The Legion Fall banner at Honoured for 4,000 nether shards is a decorative item that summons a banner with the Legion Fall logo on it. There are a couple of toys which are really cool. The first one is the Legion Pocket Portal, which you can get at Revered for 7,500 nether shards, and that is a toy which summons a dangerous portal, because, you know, Legion portals are a little bit dangerous. And there is the Legion Invasion Simulator, which you can get at Exalted for 25,000 nether shards. Except this is like easily one of the best toys. This will summon a toy Legion ship which does battle. So Wowhead have said that it seems to work similar to vehicle toys like the Dark Moon Tonka controller, except this is a Legion ship, and that's really cool. Sorry,
have space battles with the guild.
Yeah, exactly. And there is the repurposed Fel Focuser, which you could get at Revered, which is for 7,500, and that's an elixir which grants plus 500 to a primary stat. Now, I think that's the one that is similar to like the crystals and stuff that you could get from the Timeless Isle and whatnot. So, quite a lot of things that you can get with your nether shards. So it is worth going for them especially if you got the toys. Thor got me onto a really good video. There's just a guy who's put together a good way of farming nether shards if you're really interested in getting them all. So we'll put the link to that in the show notes. It does contain some 7.2 spoilers in that it shows you what's on the Broken Shore and what it looks like and all of that. So if you don't want to see any of that, please don't click on the link. But if you're not too bothered and you're interested in farming for these nether shards, go check it out. It's actually a really good thing. There's some awesome things where, like, obviously if you kill mobs and the elites and stuff, you'll pick up nether shards here and there. But while you're on the Broken Shore, there's these ships that will fly above you, and there's a beacon, and you can do some stuff that makes demons come out of the beacons, and there's more demons and more beacons, and it's all a little bit crazy, but it's a really good way to farm them. Watch the video. It'll be really good.
Yes, definitely. Now, buildings. A lot of people have been hearing about these buildings. Now, part of the Legion Fall quests include contributing to the construction of buildings to support the army that is there. Now, the constructions are region-wide and sort of cross-faction, so everyone contributes to them. When the buildings are up, you can speak to the commander to get a random buff related to that building. Obviously, there's a full list of buildings, blah, blah, blah. Now, the solo challenges are related to the Mage Tower building. Which only are available for 3 days when it goes up. Do we know if you have unlimited attempts while it's up?
I don't know if it's unlimited, but it will cost you every time. So my understanding is that the first attempt will be for free, and you can check it out. And the impression I got from the way that they said it in the Q&A was that, you're not going to get it first go. So don't panic if you don't. And then every attempt that you want to do after that will cost you nether shards. And that's why we've been talking a bit about the nether shards, because you're going to want them for the solo challenges as well. The buildings are really interesting. And we're not going to go through it in detail because it doesn't really help you get anything other than just being mindful that the Mage Tower is the one that you need to have up in order to get the solo challenge, except that there still is not a lot of news about it. So just be aware of that. The 3 different types of buildings that you can put up, there's really cool buffs from each of the 3 types. The Wowhead guide about it has a really great summary at the end of it. Because it's region-wide and cross-faction and everything, chances are, I reckon the first one's going to be the building that helps with people getting raid ready, rather than the Mage Tower, because the Mage Tower is very cool for people like us who want to get these solo appearances, for the challenges rather, but there's people who are going to want to be getting raid ready, so I don't know.
We'll see. Well, it depends on how it's chosen. Like, depending on how the building itself is chosen.
Well, because you hand in resources. So so this is a really great analogy that Thor gave to me before. Have you been to Grilled before?
No.
The food place? Okay. When you go to Grilled is really great in that they like to sponsor community things. And so they'll have 3 jars next to their counter, and each jar will be to contribute towards a particular community event thing or something or other, whatever it might be. It's a good cause. Each jar is a different good cause. And when you make your order, they give you a token, and you have to go stand in front of these 3 jars and figure out which cause you want the money to go towards. And it's really hard. And the buildings work the same way in that, you get each day you're allowed to hand in a quest using war resources. I can't remember what the exact name of them is off the top of my head, but there are
Legion Fall War Supplies.
That's the one, war supplies. You can hand in a quest for war supplies every day, and you have to choose one of the 3 buildings to put those war supplies towards. Everybody's contribution adds up. So if the entire region of the oceanic servers equally divides their supplies in thirds, it's going to take a really long time before any of the buildings are built. It's the only downside to it is trying to get the building that you want up. But you got to pick which one you want it to go, what you want to put your resources towards, and everybody else is doing the same thing. And so you can check out the progress of them, and once a building is up, it's up for 3 days, and then it gets destroyed, and another one will go up.
From what I'm reading here, it seems as though the Mage Tower is the best option anyway, because none of them really affect raid.
The one that is...
Because they only last 3 days. So there's no point in building the Nether Disruptor, which gives you a free Seal of Broken Fate and a chance to refund your Seal of Broken Fate when it fails. It only lasts 3 days, so there's no point in grabbing that when the raid isn't open.
But we're doing raids now. I'd like extra seals for Nighthold.
Oh,
they still work for all of the current. They'll all still work for the current stuff. So that's one of the things that will.
And obviously Mythic Dungeons as well.
Yeah, pretty much anything that you use your seals for. So that one, from and Broken Shore world bosses, which is cool. I mean, I like the idea of the world bosses. I really like a good world boss.
And we haven't. I don't believe it's been confirmed if you can have more than one building constructed active at a time. So I'm not sure if if the contribution is split equally, and then all three will appear at the same time, if that's possible. I don't believe there's any information on that, so maybe.
I have it in my head that you can only have one up at a time.
Possibly.
But I'm not 100% sure. The buffs that you get from the buildings are going to be random as well, which I don't like, because if I happen to get the Mage Tower's Light as a Feather perk, which gives you water walking, I'm like, goody! I'm a shaman. I have that already. I can do that myself.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, I don't know. We'll have a look. I mean, obviously, we'll start getting a bit more information once 7.2 comes out. But, yeah, I'm not 100% sure if you can have more than one building up at a time or if it is just the one. But for some reason, in the back of my head, I feel like it's only one.
Well, you are listening to this and you are playing 7.2 and you know, tweet at us, let us know.
Please do.
Yes.
So we'll do a full to unlock your artifact appearances. But in preparation for that, just make sure you've unlocked the Legion Fall faction and make sure that you're collecting your nether shards, because you'll need those for your attempts. And we know that the Mage Tower is involved. That's pretty much all the info we've got about that so far.
Yes. Now, sort of in conclusion, if you're wanting to unlock flying, or you're just wanting your class mount, or you're just wanting to get the new artifact appearance, you'll need to participate in the quests on the Broken Shore and all the Legion assaults. If you so a lot of this stuff is directly tied into the new zone and all the new stuff. So there's no real way around it in that regard. There are tons of Nether Shard rewards. I'm assuming the cap for Nether Shards is going to be increased, because I believe previously it was 2,000. So
yeah, it'd have to with the cost of some things.
Definitely. Was there anything else you wanted to mention in that regards to what we've been talking about?
No, it was just to make sure that everyone is aware that if you do want these things, you do need to actually do some stuff. It's more of a case of ticking that box so that people can't say, I didn't know that I had to do that. You do have to do that. You do have to do the stuff on the Broken Shore, and you do need to do the Legion assaults. What you don't have to do is try and get that all done in 24 hours. I mean, aside from the fact that you can't. But don't pressure yourself. Like, if this sounds like a lot to you, to some people it will be. Don't feel pressured to try and cram this into a short space of time. If you want your flying now, you got to do a bit more quickly. But if you're happy to wait, just take your time. Have fun with it. I mean, this is
we've still got
awesome.
11 weeks till we get our actual class mounts. Mm-hmm. So if you're really hanging on for that, and there's one specific class mount that you want, beeline for flying, jump on an alt, and just quest as quickly as you can, or just be like, I can get to 110 and do all that stuff in 11 weeks, no problem.
Just have fun. Fun.
Yeah. Set small goals when it comes to this stuff.
Yep.
Don't, obviously, unless you're one of those, bleeding edge players, but most of this crap probably doesn't concern you then, because you're just running mythics to get better gear for the next raid.
Well, Spanky's sent us a link to some really good advice for 7.2 prep and when is good time to open caches and things like that, and the order of things to do when you first log in. This is only for people who are really trying to min-max their situation, so don't feel pressured to do it this way if you don't want to. The only thing that I will say is that you can open your weekly cache whenever you're ready, because Blizzard did confirm that the Mythic Dungeon cache for this week will not contain artifact power because of these changes specifically. Every mythic cache after that that's in your class hall, that will have artifact power in it, but not this one. So open that whenever you're ready.
Yep, that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, Big G, I want my elementals now too. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm sitting here going, oh my god, because I'm really excited that the fire elemental mount is, the fire mount is for elemental shamans, which is what I do all of my world questing in. So I'm so stoked about that.
I want my hybrid, whatever it is.
Yeah. Dude, you get
and
to
I
have,
want the monk one already.
You get
my god,
2 other mounts as hunters. I mean, that's so unfair. I'm really jealous. Well, Pallies can technically get 4, so
yes, but I think it only counts as 1 across each of the specs.
Yeah, that's why.
Now that we've realized what they're related to, it looks like it'll only count as 1.
Yeah, each one will definitely count as 1. We know that much. Each mount will count as 1. What we don't know is whether or not the other ones will just count as tints or additional mounts.
I believe they'll probably just count as 1 in that spec, and 1 in the other spec, and 1 in the other spec, and not 3 in any spec. I believe. That, and I can't wait to get my talking monk mount. Because he talks.
That's really cute. I wonder if the little pet talks too then. Or maybe it just squeaks every now and then.
If it's got like the baby... If it's got the child Pandaren voice, that'll be funny.
It's cute.
Yes. But yeah, he does speak occasionally as you're running around, which is
That's
really cool.
I like that.
Yeah. Yes.
Do you want to go through our tweets that people have sent about what they're looking forward to with 7.2?
Yes, I was actually going to ask, did you want to give us what happened, a bit of arguing between you and Spanky?
Spanky first? And I just have very different opinions about 7.2, so... So we tweeted out just asking what everybody is looking forward to for 7.2. Spanky said flying. Everything else is just fluff. And I said, fluff? How? Sorry, my alarm's going off. And Spanky said, I guess because I've been doing World Quest lots, it feels like more of the same. Flying is new to the area. So, that's fine. Couldn't disagree more, but everyone's entitled to their own opinions, so that's the beauty of living in a world and a democracy where we can say, I disagree, and it's okay. We don't have to start a war. So you don't have to hold me back. I'm going to have fun in 7.2, and, to be honest, that's what I care about most.
I'd say it's a more of a blizz-tatorship, but,
Do you want to go on with the next ones?
Yes, we got a tweet from Anne in Wonderland saying, flying! All the amazing content too, of course, especially class stuff, but flying will be awesome. I agree.
Seeing a theme!
Yes. We received a tweet from the Marshal at the _ Marathol. My bad. I mispronounced that. The possibility of something new to work on, but dreading having to grind out order resources and more AP. Yes. They're moving the goalpost.
They are a bit, but
it gives us something to do.
It does, and the artifact power and the order resources aren't essential unless you're wanting to do the higher level raiding. I mean, and obviously if you just want to do it, that's fine. But yeah, I don't know. I just still maintain you got to make sure you're having fun with the game. If you're not, figure out why and stop doing the bad stuff and do the fun stuff.
Yes, look for something new. There's plenty to do. We received a tweet from Gildina, who says, I've been waiting for flying since launch, so that's top of the list, but class mounts too. I'm happy that flying is here, but I haven't been hanging for it. Like I know there are some people out there who are just like, oh, the game's no good if you can't fly.
Yeah. I'm only hanging out for it.
I'm not saying that Gildina is saying that.
Oh, no.
I'm just saying that... For me, a lot of people seem to be saying flying or I'm not playing, which happened a lot at the beginning of the expansion. But now that flying is here, all those people can just shut the heck up.
For me, I'm excited about flying because it opens up the whole world at another level. And so it's this different level of exploring which I'm really looking forward to.
Yes. Now, we got a tweet from Spanky, who says, this says it all for 7.2 for me. Still 298 mounts. My GF hit 300 logging and alt.
Congrats, Coffee!
Yes, very, very close.
The YouTube link is I Believe I Can Fly, and it's been in my head ever since Spanky tweeted that to us. But, you know, we know, like, yes, everyone is excited about flying. That's why our first 7.2 episode, obviously, that had to be about the flying. Our show started about mounts, and we're all really keen to get flying around. So, yeah, it's it makes sense that everyone's excited about it, and it's great that they're excited about it. I wish everybody all the best of luck.
Definitely.
We also have some general tweets. Go ahead.
Yes, I was going to ask you to take those if you wouldn't mind.
Okay. So our first one is from Kristen at DisneyGirl85. Hi, Kristen. She says, today is all about catching up on Reins of Azeroth episodes while doing housework and playing WoW. I hope that we helped you get your chores done easily, because chores suck. I don't like chores. I'd like someone to do mine if that would be alright. Spanky sent us a tweet saying, hey, Reins, Mount 298 just finished off my Draenor dungeon achieves. And he had grats tweets from Mumminatrix and from Softy saying, congratulations, so close. And yes, oh my god, so close. So close.
Definitely.
And our last tweet was from Salvation, who said, finished off the Mark of Prey grind and got the Ivory Hawk Strider over the weekend, making it my 353rd mount, which is fantastic. That's the extra PvP mount that we were talking about last week with the Falcosaurus, which is awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah. I think he just needs to change his name to just Be Jealous.
He works really hard though. Like
he
does get some good luck every now and again, but man, he works really hard. I'm glad that it pays off for him. He is a machine. Yes. Spanky's saying the man is a machine. He really is. So congratulations, man.
Yes. And we have an email from Anne. Who says, hello Reins, I did a ton of pet battling last week and got Pandaria, Northrend, Outland, and Draenor Safari, and most of Kalimdor Safari, but I need Summer because the Karaji Guardling is not available now. I also finished Underbelly Tycoon and earned the Rat Stallion mount, and I got ill, so I think the stupid rat gave me the plague. Thanks for the podcast and have a nice show, Anne.
Oh, Anne.
That's good, but that sucks.
Yeah. Firstly, we hope that you're feeling better, Anne. You know, all the healthy vibes towards you. Congratulations on your rat. I hope that he didn't give you the plague.
I still need to do that. I still need to get that mount.
I'm getting closer. I've been doing it very casually, and it's just very slowly ticking up, and I'm happy with that. I like that there will be something in it for me at the end.
Yeah, I keep forgetting to go do that like quest.
Yeah.
To drink the potion or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, there was one thing I wanted to mention. Coming up next week, after next week's show, there's a micro holiday happening.
There is.
March of the Tadpoles. March of the Tadpoles.
Is it Tadpoles? I can't remember. I remember thinking,
March of the
we'll have to talk
is
about
the ultimate that Murky has in Heroes of the Storm.
Right.
Which is, you know, a charging all the baby Murlocs. But yeah, that is happening. It says 2 days on the calendar.
It'll be like 24 hours though, yeah?
Which means I'll have to keep an eye out for it.
Yeah.
More so. March of the Tadpoles, I believe it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, so obviously in regards to the email that you sent us, Anne, the Karaji Guardling should be up in mid-June or so.
Yep, around about the 21st in theory is what the comments on my head are saying, which I'm sure she already knows because she's such a champion with this stuff.
Seriously, put a pin on the calendar.
Yeah, those pet battle achievements that she got, getting all of Pandaria, Northrend, Outland, and Draenor Safari, and most of Kalimdor, that's epic. Like, that's a lot to get through, so well done. It's really, really awesome. Congratulations. And also, speaking of pet battles, this week is Pet Battle Bonus Week as the weekly bonus event. And of course, because things time out really well, tomorrow, which is when Pet Battle Week starts, is also a Squirt Day, which is epic pet battle leveling. So if you don't really care too much about 7.2, but you do care about your pet leveling, tomorrow's the day to do it.
Yes. I will bug you on BattleNet to help me get through that.
Okay.
Because I need to level the 4 Falcosaur pets that I have. Speaking of which, I still haven't gotten the 4th one. It just doesn't want to spawn for me. The one in Stormheim.
Okay.
The one in Stormheim. I killed the matriarch, and I look where it should be, but it's not. Like, I looked in the whole area, and it doesn't spawn.
I'm trying to remember where... Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Are you down the bottom or up the top?
I've checked both.
You've checked.
Because I've been told it spawns on the rocks.
It spawns on the rocks. So if you
it's not there.
Yeah, at the point.
Then because I'm a hunter, I can track everything.
I don't think it shows up on tracking.
It does.
It does.
The other ones did.
Okay.
The other ones did for me.
Okay. There are 3 levels. So at the point where it says that it spawns, you've got the level that's on the shore. And then if you look next to you, there's obviously the cliff. And if you go up to the top of the cliff, turn around and look at the shore and then look down. There's actually a rock that sticks out a little bit from there, and he's on that rock. You can't see him from the ground. You have to go up to the top and then look down over the edge.
I believe that's where I was, if I'm correct.
Okay.
But I do need to get all of them to level 25. So, because I'm stuck with the pet battle dailies, so...
Yeah.
On one of them, because I was going to do one at a time, but then I was just like, can't be bothered.
Well, the beauty of when you level 1 up, you should get a level
25 stone.
Yep.
That's why I was just going to do them one at a time, but I cannot be bothered.
That's fine, that's fair enough.
So what's happening next week, then?
Next week, we have a super special guest. She's one of my favourite WoW ladies. We have Lita joining us next week. And we haven't 100% confirmed what we're talking about yet, so I'm not going to say it. But for next week, please, firstly, make sure you let Lita know how awesome she is, because she is awesome. And also, let us know how your first week of 7.2 goes and getting on the Broken Shore. And do you know what? Okay, so complete tangent, because that's what I do. I was going through Facebook this afternoon on the tram and looking at posts, and there was one from Blizzard, and Blizzard are like, for the king, for the alliance, for Azeroth, and then they showed Varian's death scene. That's all they showed. They didn't show the whole cinematic, just him dying. And I'm like bawling my freaking eyes out. It still kills me. It still kills me. So
yes, they did the same thing on Twitter, and someone responded like, oh god, bringing back all those bloody emotions. And then the account responded with, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, somebody had responded on Facebook as well with something similar, and they'd also apologized on there for that. I'm like, I'm sure that they feel bad about it, but yeah.
And obviously, they did the For the Horde as well, with the gif of Vol'jin. The War Chief Vol'jin.
Yeah.
And the Twitter account, The Spirit of Vol'jin, previously known as War Chief Vol'jin, previously known as just Vol'jin, tweeted at them and was just like, why would you do this?
That's just so cruel.
I don't remember exactly what he tweeted, but he tweeted to them. I don't remember if they responded. I'll just quickly have a look if you can give me a minute. Vamp for a minute.
While you are having a look, I'll go through then how everyone can get in touch with us.
Yes, please.
If you want to come along to our live recordings, we are on Twitch every Tuesday at 8:30 p.m, which also reminds me, Daylight Savings ends this weekend, which means that if you are in Queensland and have been joining us at 7:30 p.m, your time will change to 8:30 p.m. So we'll put some timers and stuff up so that people know when we're exactly starting. But yeah, 8:30 p.m. Tuesdays on Twitch, twitch.tv/Reins of Azeroth. And afterwards, you can have a look at the show on YouTube if you want to see what everybody was chatting about. The show itself can be found on our website at reignsofazeroth.com, as well as on Podbean, iTunes, and Stitcher. If you like what we're doing here, please leave us a review on iTunes or a thumbs up on Stitcher. If you have any questions or stories or pictures of mounts, toys, achievements, your favourite transmogs, anything at all that you've been collecting, please send us some pictures and let us know your stories. You can email us reignsofazeroth@gmail.com. On Twitter, you can find the show at Reins of Azeroth. Spaz can be found at SpazWesson. I can be found at Cinder_tweets. And you can send us a message if you'd like to join our Discord server. We do have a Patreon if you're interested. Just have a search for Reins of Azeroth on Patreon. But otherwise, that is it. Oh yeah, Big G is pointing out that it will go to 5:30. Is that right, Big G? Oh, I realise it's going to be a 30-second delay now, and that's really not going to help.
We will tweak the details when it comes down to it. We'll put up a proper
timer for everybody to help.
Yes, and obviously we'll give a countdown time before we go live.
Yeah, time's all wibbly wobbly, and it hurts my little head.
Like at midday Sydney time, I will tweet out 8.5 hours till the show.
Yeah, good idea.
And that should help.
That's a good idea.
Or something similar. Yes.
Did you find what you were looking for?
Yes, he just tweeted for the Horde in all caps.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yes.
Well, that wraps us up for the week. I hope that everybody has a wonderful time in 7.2.
And we will see you next week. Now, obviously, if there is a very large elite monster that kills you, send us a screenshot, because that'll be funny. I don't know, I'm just thinking of things that they can send us for the gallery for next week. What's the first thing that killed you in 7.2?
Yes. Okay.
That would be funny. Okay. I don't know, I'm just thinking of random things to throw out there.
Fair enough.
But, yeah, we'll see everybody next week.
See you later, guys.
Bye. And done.
Thank you, Big G. I'm not good at time and stuff. We'll put some there's a thing that you can make with a time thing and stuff. And yeah. It's
yes.
We'll put that up so that everyone knows when it's all on. And I'm loving that all of you are like confirming that you're all just gonna fall off a cliff.
Oh no, Spanky. Spanky says, this battleground, we won. I just disengaged off a cliff. Oh no, sorry, I'm misreading that. Yeah. It's the cliff that's gonna kill everybody.
Yeah.
Cliffs of 7.2. Awesome.
Yep. I have to write. It's actually our topic of the week for the Z and Cinder blog challenge. Is the funniest way that you've died? Because Anne suggested it when she was on the show, when Z was on the show, and I'm like, that's a great one, and I have to write my post about it. But yeah, maybe I'll have something hilarious happen on the Broken Shore. I don't know.
Who knows? Well,
anyway. Thank you, everybody, for coming along in the Twitch chat tonight.
Definitely. And I think Sirius may have fallen asleep in her teapot.
Oh, I imagine it would be quite snuggly in there.
Yeah, and crappy internet doesn't help either.
No, it really doesn't help.
No, you just left me in here.
Oh, there you are! Hello!
We said that the episode was over.